there just might be a very valuable resource in your refrigerator as I speak. Let's talk about it on this bonus Sunday morning upload. Back in a minute. It's Sunday morning to you. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City. Saves money, and I love, love, love helping other people keep some more of their own hard earned money. How are you doing on this unexpected bonus upload morning on a Sunday morning? I hope that this audio video, as always, finds everybody doing well. You know, this is the end of the month. And for some people, the end of the month means a little more food scarcity in the refrigerator. So I said to myself, I want to mention a valuable resource that just might be sitting under your nose in your refrigerator. And the beautiful news is that you really don't need much of this resource. What am I talking about? I'm talking about leftover roasted chicken. Now, many people, much to my personal dismay, they throw away their chicken carcasses way too fast. Some people don't see any value, or they just can't be bothered with it, or whatever. And my rule of thumb, whenever I get, let's say, for example, a deli chicken, one that's already cooked, and someone mentioned recently on one of the comments that they were able to pick up a pre-cooked chicken all the way cooked for the exact same price for an uncooked one. So obviously, what direction would you personally choose? I choose the cooked one if it happens to be the same price. But that's me. Now, even if you don't have it necessarily from the deli and you just happen to have roasted a chicken in the not so distant past, and like it's still sitting in your refrigerator, don't give up and think, oh, well, I'm just going to throw it out today. No. Even if you took off the majority of the chicken meat, you can still get something out of it. Now, hopefully, there are some scraps of meat still on there, and it is the end of the month, and this is a wonderful opportunity for a person to take that chicken carcass or leftover meat, sit down carefully. If you're running low and you're trying to figure out like a nice meal, it is still winter time. You still may want to make either a soup or a stew out of it. You can do it, or chicken with gravy and biscuits. You could still do something with it. And this being like the last, weekend of the month, and a lot of people are tapped out, and this will tide them over till the next time they get their pay. You can make a big, big pot of chicken soup, for example. So look in your refrigerator. I encourage anyone, even if you have more than enough, this just might be the day. Look in your vegetable crisper. Do you see even one or two carrots? One or two fresh carrots would work. Even if you have one or two celery stalks, it would work. Those are the fresh elements. If you don't have those fresh elements, maybe you just might have a fresh onion. But if you go into hopefully you have a little bit of a stockpile, and go into your stockpile, you may find, for example, a can of carrots, okay? Or some sort of or other vegetable, or peas or bean or something. But this is the day when you're scratching your head trying to figure out, wait a minute, I want to make a bunch of food, and I don't want to have to go to the grocery store just yet. And what can tide us over? Now, combine that with, if you go back to your pantry, let's say you decided to make a nice, easy peasy, beautiful chicken soup. You could do it, by the way, in your crock pot, slow cooker. It's a very simple way to do it. You just basically set it up and put in your ingredients. And I highly encourage the use of chicken bouillon cubes. Now, getting back to your chicken, on the side, as a side dish, you can make a nice little cornbread. And, like even with muffin mix, you could do that. You can make one in your 8x8. Just imagine that nice, hot, piping, nutritious soup with a hunk of buttered cornbread on the side. Yummy. Sounds good to me. And you're having all of your food elements. You might have, let's say, a lemon or a lime in your refrigerator, and let's say you ran low on something, nice to drink. That's an easy setup. You can either make your own homemade tea, put it in the refrigerator, let it cool down nicely, or you could just have some nice water with lemon slices in it. You could set up a pitcher like that, put it in your refrigerator, and that could serve as your, low budget meal. I think that it would be a great idea, like as a wonderful thought for a day, let's say that might be chilly by you, or funds are low, or ingredients are low. Just get a little bit creative, okay? You might walk into your stockpile and maybe you kept a can of canned fruit. Suppose you want that fresh element, like on the side, like some pears, or whatever you like, or whatever you have, or some mandarin oranges, whatever the case may be. You could get very creative. You can make for dessert. You can make a simple boxed cake mix to go along with your soup, and you have yourself a nice full meal, including dessert, on the cheap. All it takes is a minute or two. And the beauty part is that if you're going to do, let's say, something like a water based meal, like a soup, you can make enough of that and even put some of that in the freezer. Now, here's a recommendation, getting back to the chicken that you might have. Let's say you don't have too much meat on that chicken. Don't give up, because you can, like, put the bones in there, make a bone broth with it. Or you could take, if you have some of the skin from the chicken, you could put it in there, let it render some of the fat out of the chicken for flavor. You could absolutely do that. And what you could do, if you happen to have in your pantry, in your stockpile, you might have a can of boneless chicken in your stockpile, boneless chicken breast. There you go. And you could use that and, beef it up, if you will, with chicken. That sounds pretty funny. Beef it up with chicken. But you see where I'm going with this? You could take some simple things. Anyone who's listening to this that cannot figure out what to make for dinner tonight, take a look at your refrigerator, see what you can do to put, and if you don't want chicken soup or beef soup or anything like that, maybe you just rather be a vegetable stock, and you could easily do it with vegetables. Whatever fresh elements you have, use whatever fresh elements you have, including, if it's not like bulky enough, go back into your pantry, go back into your canned stockpile, and add some stuff from there. And if you take 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce and add that to the whole thing, it just changes the flavor. It just, gives it another richness. Like I said earlier, combine it with perhaps, a nice cornbread. Maybe you have all the ingredients to make your cornbread from scratch and not necessarily rely on the boxed mix. So, excuse me. So here's some food for thought ideas on this morning, and I decided to come on. Excuse me, please. Anyway, hang on a second. If you found value in this video, please let YouTube know about it so they can raise the algorithm and we can help other people who maybe never heard of this channel. Thank you so much for your help. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day, everybody. Take good care now. Thank you.